On a day where everything could have gone right for Arsenal, everything went right. Final score at the Emirates in the Premier League. Arsenal 5, Leeds 0. And listen, Arsenal put on a show. The fans were entertained from start to finish, even before the game. Like I said, everything that could have gone right for Arsenal went right. And listen, we have to start with the Eze announcement and the Eze unveiling at the Emirates. Now listen, I'm usually not someone who really pays attention to unveilings like that or announcements. I'll check it out on social media. But this one in particular, I knew that Arsenal was going to do something special with it. And in my head, I was actually thinking that they were going to involve Sol Campbell, if I'm honest, because of the whole Tottenham thing, and Eze was close to joining Spurs and now he's joining Arsenal. I was expecting some sort of announcement with Sol Campbell in that. But as soon as I saw Ian Wright, I said, yeah, Arsenal get it. Arsenal get it. And I have to be completely honest. That announcement video was fire. I have to be honest. It was fire. I watched it, I think, twice. And of course, they had to add the little song in the background. Let it all work out. You just knew that they were going to do something with it. You just knew it. Honestly, what a fantastic announcement. Eze is wearing the number 10 for Arsenal. Then he got unveiled at the stadium. He walked out and all you could see is a big smile on his face. And honestly, deservedly so. Everybody knows Eze's story, including myself. And it kind of resonates with me as well, with my content journey. Rejection here, rejection there. Having to be at the bottom and climb your way back up. I can resonate with that. Stories that resemble other people's stories. And I heavily resonate with that. So I have to give credit to Arsenal and I have to give credit to their media team because that announcement was A1. Anyway, let's get on to the game. Listen, I think Leeds probably already knew what was coming towards them. They were up against a side that were challenging for the title 3 years in a row. So I didn't think anything else was going to happen but an Arsenal win. That's what I saw in it. My prediction was 3-0 Arsenal and it turned out to be 5-0. So Arsenal completely dominated from start to finish. Arsenal and corners is literally cash money because Timber got the first goal. And I think he got a brace as well. Arsenal and corners is cash money. The delivery from Declan Rice on corners is absolutely ridiculous. And then on the other side, I think it's Bukayo Saka, putting in the corners, the in-swinger from the other side. But those corners from Declan Rice are top-notch quality. The only thing I would say with that is, we've seen last season that it does work for a couple of months, but that's not how you make your way to a title. You can't set piece yourself to a title. You can't corner yourself to a title, if you get what I'm coming from. You're going to have to find other ways in games where it's a bit more difficult, where you're going to have to score from open play. You're going to have to create from nowhere and unlock defenses where it's a bit more difficult, which is why Eze coming in is actually beneficial for Arsenal. So I think it's up to Arsenal now to kind of see where they can improve because there's always stuff to improve on. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, every corner is nearly cash money for Arsenal, man. Cash money. My personal favourite this game, and I know Timber got the man of the match, probably because of the 2 goals, but Calafiori could have got one as well. He could have got the man of the match. I think he got 2 assists. But I have to talk about Zubimendi. Zubimendi, for me, I watched him closely this game, and the tidiness this guy has on the ball, for me, is A1. Tidy on the ball, very calculated, typical Spanish player in it. Like the passes are very well taken care of. He looks after his passes. Every pass has a meaning. A normal pass or a pass that can split a defense or a midfield or cut through the whole team. Like every pass is carefully calculated. And I like players like that, personally. I would love to have a player like that in our team, Man United. If we had someone playing in that 6th row, taking care of every single pass and thinking, getting the brain to work a little bit rather than just spamming and spamming and spamming, I think we'd be better off, But anyway, it's not about United right now. I'm a big fan of Zubimendi. Big fan. I think Arsenal have already successfully replaced Thomas Partey, who obviously plays for Villarreal right now. But yeah, Zubimendi is a baller. He's a baller. Technically, he might not be your most skillful player. He's not going to do no step overs and tricks and flicks, but he's going to be very, very tidy on the ball, which is why I am a big fan of Spanish players, especially in midfield, because they have that cultural know-how. They grow up with the notion of being a midfielder and being tidy. On the physical side of things, yes, you can be physical because it's the Premier League, of course. But most importantly, if you have this and this that can work together, you'll be fine. And you can definitely see that in Zubimendi. So I definitely rate this kind of player, man. Definitely rate him. Victor Gyökeres got his brace for Arsenal. A good brace. The first goal, very well worked. Struggled a little bit with the touches and whatnot. And then the second one was a penalty. Now, I'm going to nitpick on things here, but the touches are very heavy. I have to be honest. Sometimes when you play the ball into Gyökeres, the touch is very heavy, which means he has to run after that heavy touch and then make more effort to try and get the ball under control, which is the case with his goal, actually. The touch was too heavy, then he had to run after the ball a bit more, make a bit more effort. And then, the finish was actually very good, near post. I believe the goalkeeper should have done better there. But yeah, that was a good goal. And then the penalty dispatched it perfectly as well. He's very good at penalties. So yeah, I think Arsenal fans will be happy with the brace. You just have to be careful with Gyökeres because the touches are very, very heavy. So sometimes in games where things are a bit more sticky, i.e. next week, maybe against Liverpool, you're not going to have that time to have a heavy touch and then run after that heavy touch to try and make up for the fact that you had a heavy touch and then run after the ball, try and get the ball under control. And against Liverpool, you're not going to have that time. Today it was Leeds and it worked. But next week against Liverpool, it's going to be a different story. But overall, I thought Gyökeres had a decent game. I wouldn't say it was a good game or a perfect game, but it was a decent game because he got his brace. So, yeah, that's that. But then there was one big negative for Arsenal. 2 players gone off injured. Saka went down after he carried the ball for long periods of time, he carried the ball for a long period of time and he passed the ball to his left. And then he just felt something and he kind of stopped and then went down. And you could kind of tell by his face, he was looking up in the sky and you could kind of read his lips. He was saying, oh my God. So you don't really know, what the injury is. And I've just seen a quote from Arteta, regarding Bukayo Saka. And he says, we have to wait to understand how long he'll be out. I haven't spoken to the doctor yet, but for Bukayo to come off, it's significant. So right now, it is not looking good. That injury, I'm assuming it's a hamstring injury because he did stop abruptly and he was holding his hamstrings a little bit. I might be wrong for seeing that maybe, but it is not looking good. And remember last season, he already had an injury like that, or the season before that, if I'm not wrong. So it's going to be a tough one for Arsenal because replacing someone like a Bukayo Saka, who, by the way, had a fantastic goal as well today, roof of the net, right foot, very hard shot, top of the goal. To replace someone with his quality is very, very difficult. So it's going to be up to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta to try and find solutions, but I think they got cover. Madueke can play on the left. Madueke can also play on the right. And then somebody else went off, and that was probably a precaution. We don't know yet what's happened or not. Martin Odegaard. Now, this would be a huge, huge blow if Arsenal were to lose Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka ahead of the game against Liverpool next week. That would be a massive, massive blow. Now, again, I did say that they do have cover in Madueke, who can play on the right, and they've got Nwaneri, who can play in the middle, and they also got Eze now, who can fill in. So that would be a massive, massive blow. But I think with the cover that they have, they should be fine. But then again, it's Liverpool next week. It's always tough to play against these guys. So yeah, it remains to be seen what's going to happen, And obviously, I talked about Arsenal having a perfect day. they managed to, take off some of their players, and, Haaland was at the forefront today. Bukayo Saka, Ethan Nwaneri, Max Dowman, Miles Lewis-Skelly. Like, it was Haaland all over the gaff. It was Haaland all over the place. And one thing I do want to say about Max Dowman, and I've said this a million times about players that have that, je ne sais quoi. With players like Max Dowman, it doesn't take 5 minutes to realize, yeah, he's got it. It doesn't take 5 minutes. It takes you 3 minutes tops. If you've been watching football for a long time, you can tell by the way he touches the ball. You can tell by the way he dribbles. You can tell by the way he controls it. You can tell by the way he stops and starts and manipulates the ball at will. Like, the ball is listening to what he wants him, or the ball is listening to what he wants it to do. And when you have players like that, yeah, on top of that, he's left-footed. Yeah, man, listen, wrap it up, man. Wrap it up. Of course, there's things he has to refine in his game and whatnot, which is normal. But yeah, this guy's got it, man. This guy has got it. Give him a run of games and he can develop into a very, very dangerous player, man. Max Dowman, definitely a fan of him. Definitely a fan of him. But yeah, like I said, all smiles in the Arsenal camp. All smiles at the Emirates tonight. Obviously, that minus point is the 2 injuries to Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard for Arsenal fans. So it remains to be seen how long they're going to be out for. But if they're out for next week, that could be a massive blow, and that could play into Liverpool's favour. But listen, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Gooners, let me know in the comment section what you think of this game. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's road to 20k, closing in on 19. And I shall see you very soon, people. Peace.